have beliefs about yourself that you don't even realize you have that are holding you back. In this conversation, I'm talking to empowerment coach Renee Kohn about how to identify those and get rid of them so you can have your happiest life.
Welcome to Happiness Adventure. I'm Lisa, and together we'll explore ways to cultivate real joy in our lives.
Welcome, Renee.
Thank you, Lisa.
As an empowerment coach, you help people realize what their goals are and then create strategies to reach them. How does that process work?
So when I work with clients, people basically come to me because there's something that they really want, a goal, a dream, a vision, and they really need support in helping to achieve it. And that's where I step in. I help them get clear on what their vision is, and I help them really feel confident that they can go after it. And then what we do is we develop a strategy. If they're at A, how can they get to B? And the number one thing that I help people work with is shifting their mindset. Because what I have found is that our outer experiences are a reflection of our inner reality. So when somebody has a big goal or a big dream that they want to live, if there are limiting beliefs that are standing in the way, we discover what those are, and then we work on transforming them so they really can reach their goal.
You say that rewriting someone's stories or changing their beliefs about themselves is one of the important parts of the work you do. How does that work?
So I'll give you an example from a client that I worked with, and I think that will make it more concrete. So when we're born to about the age of 8, we don't really have the cognitive ability to analyze things. What we're told, we just take as fact. So we're raised by loving, imperfect people, and so we really take on their beliefs as our beliefs. So a client that I worked with, everyone in her family was a teacher. Mom, dad, aunts, uncles, grandparents. And her belief was that she needed to grow up and be a teacher. Well, she did that, got the education, and was well on her way, and a really fabulous teacher, but it wasn't resonating with her. She was really unhappy, and she wanted to switch gears and open up a completely different business and go in a different way. And she came to me because she was riddled with guilt, with feelings that this wasn't okay, and that she had failed and was letting down her whole family. And so what we do with rewriting that story is we take a look at what are those beliefs. And in her case, her belief was, I have to be a teacher. I have to carry on my family's legacy, and this is my only choice. So discovering that that was her story, we worked on rewriting it. And what we wrote her story to now be is that I honor what my family's career choices were. I get to choose my own path, and I am brave enough to step out and honor my own passion.
Amazing. I think something interesting about the story that you shared is that it was probably a subconscious belief that everyone needs to be a teacher. I mean, did her parents tell her you need to be a teacher?
I think that you make a really good point. From the time that we're young, we hear things and we see things and we interpret things. So it wasn't that her family said, this is what you have to do, or you've let our family down. It was more of an internal dialogue that she had within herself. And so that's what tends to happen, is that when we're younger, we grow up believing things. And what we can find out later through the empowerment coaching process is that those aren't facts. They're misunderstandings, or what I call limiting beliefs. And until we could really peel that onion layer and get to the bottom of what those limiting beliefs are and rewrite our story from a more empowering place that gives us freedom to live our life on our life's terms, then that's when we get to rewrite our story to how we want to live.
Now, you've had a really personal experience yourself with removing self-limiting beliefs. Can you tell us a little bit about why you're so motivated to do this work with other people?
Absolutely. So I grew up in a family with, unfortunately, a lot of trauma, a lot of violence and abuse. And what happened for me was my misunderstandings were that I wasn't good enough, I wasn't valuable, and I wasn't loved. And I went around with those misunderstandings and those beliefs for a really long time. And my biggest goal and dream was to manifest a husband and a family, to get married and you know, have a great family. And I was dating and relationship after relationship didn't work out. And I was so frustrated and I really couldn't figure out what I was doing wrong. My old story was that family isn't safe. And what I did when I got that information, I did a lot of that deep healing work. I had to go through the grieving process and do a lot of inner healing. And then I also started adopting empowering beliefs and rewriting my own story. And what those beliefs are is that I can create any kind of family that I want. And I am capable of having a beautiful family, and I deserve to have my happy ending. And lo and behold, I meet an amazing man, we get married, we have an incredible son, and it was all from being willing to look at what my limiting beliefs were, having the courage to say, ooh, I don't like that, I don't want to live from this place, and then rewriting my own story. So I only help and coach people on what I've done and what I am still continually willing to do.
Renee, since the thoughts that we hold about ourselves are so powerful and can be working under the surface without us even knowing it, what are 3 practical tips that viewers watching could take to expose and remove those?
So it's identifying your goal, identifying the limiting beliefs, and then identifying what are those power mantras that you can start saying to yourself now that are going to help you live your most authentic, best life.
I love it. So identify goal, identify negative beliefs, and replace them.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I've been speaking to Renee Kohn about the beliefs that we have that we might not even realize we have that are holding us back, and what the process is that we can go through to unearth those and get rid of them, replace them with beliefs that are productive for us, and then move forward with a more successful and happy life. I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Is there a belief that you believe you're holding about yourself that might be holding you back? Thank you so much for being part of this adventure with me, and I look forward to seeing you soon for our next conversation.